One of the most fun parts in classes is when we talk about the stones, and I thought we could spend a little time talking about chakra stones, and I gave myself a very severe discipline. I said just 2 for each chakra. So there are many different stones that you can use as chakra stones, but I'm limiting myself here to 2 for each chakra, and we'll see how we manage. And we'll see what I picked as my 2 favorite stones for each chakra. I did consider price and I did consider accessibility as well. But that's the kind of thing that you want to put into a favorite stone, because price and accessibility are very, very important when talking about anything, and as well as crystals. I do want to show you what's my go-to book. When it comes to crystals and their properties, I use Earth Encyclopedia almost exclusively. There are a few other references that I do use, but this is my go-to reference. And it's important when you're doing crystal healing and learning about crystal healing to have your reference that you particularly like. I'm very compatible with Melody's reference. I experience the stones in a particular way. I think about what I'm getting. I think about what it's the properties that are being exhibited. And then I go check in Melody's book, does that jive with what she says? And 100% of the time for me, it does. And that's where and how I build my knowledge of the stones and their properties. What makes a good chakra stone? That's a reasonable question. It's difficult to say, but I would say an appropriate size and a flat shape, and then the color that you want and the properties that you want. And so let's look at what that entails for each chakra, because the stone that you use on your third eye and your throat would not be the same size as the stone you would want for your heart chakra, your solar plexus, and your sacral chakras, just for example. And let's start at the root chakra here and see what we have. And my number 1 choice for the root chakra is garnet. Now this is a raw garnet that has not been polished, and you can see its garnet shape, and that's really important. But you can't use this in this formation as a chakra stone because it's going to roll off, as would a sphere or an egg. And so what we did was we sliced the garnet and came up with stones like this. And so these are the garnets that I use in a chakra layout, and this is very useful. Then I also found these garnet palm stones, and you can see garnet looks black until you hold it up to the light, and then you start to see the red. And garnet is very dense and very heavy. Magnificent stone, and I'm sure most of you know that black stones also work for the root chakra. So having this garnet that looks black but is actually red, pretty great dynamic for the root chakra. So garnet in any form but flat and able to sit on the root chakra is good. And this is also garnet. This is garnet in matrix, and this also can sit on the root chakra like so. Really nice. Now, my other go-to stone for the root chakra is Uvite, red Uvite. And this is one of my pieces of red Uvite. And it's in a matrix. It's got quartz and magnesite, which is a relative of calcite. And this is the red part. Here is the Uvite. The overall color of the stone to me has a red glow, particularly this part here, which we can let the camera home in on. And then this is a Euvide Crystal, and Euvite is usually small, like you saw the little flecks on the previous piece. So this is my champion piece of red Euvite, and when I saw it at the gem show, I fell upon it and did not let go of it until I got it safely home. And that's one tip I can give you, is if you find something at a gem show that you like, don't put it down, because the person standing next to you is highly likely to pick it up and purchase it. So I did not put it down, and I am the proud owner of this extraordinary Euvite crystal. Now here's the piece of Euvite that taught me all about using it on the root chakra. And again, I'll turn it around. You can see the redness is here on the back of the stone, and this is the part that will go against the root chakra. And incidentally, I prefer to put the root chakra stone between the root chakra and the second chakra. I find it balances better there, and it's less invasive of people's privacy. Very, very important to consider when doing healing work. And these are the Euvite stones on the top, and they again look black, but they're actually red. And Euvite is just a wonderful, wonderful stone, but it's hard to get. It is expensive. Garnet is not hard to get and is not as expensive, making it #1 favorite. Now for the second chakra, my favorite is raw carnelian. And this is my famous piece of raw carnelian that you'll see me use in demo after demo. I do love it because of its natural heart shape. And you can use polished carnelian. And these are 2 pieces of polished carnelian. And this piece is from South Africa. This is from Brazil. See, it's got a different quality, it's got a slightly different vibration, it's got a slightly different feeling when you look at it. But what I like about this one is it's got a flame shape in it. And that's kind of significant for the second chakra, because the icon for the second chakra is a flame in a cave. So I do like this flame shape in my carnelian. This one I like because it's just such a beautiful color. And the orange just makes me feel happy. And when we feel happy, our energy moves better. And how great is that? Nothing to scorn there. Beautiful piece. Now, carnelian can look different, and you may be familiar if you've been getting tumbled stones with carnelian that looks like this. And sometimes it is dyed this color, especially when it's beads, and other times it is natural. It does not matter. Do not worry. Do not fear that you're dealing with a dyed stone. It will still work. You may not like it as much. You may not like that it's dyed, but it will still work. The other second chakra stone that is a must-have is orange calcite. This is raw orange calcite. Also a beautiful glow. I'll bring it down a bit. Good. Also makes me smile. I do love orange. And then I do particularly like these orange calcite hearts. And this is my go-to stone. I got my 2 orange sacral chakra hearts, and I love these stones very, very much. I love working with them, and I do believe my clients like them too because they keep on coming back. Good. Now, for the solar plexus chakra, that's yellow, and it's not that easy to get yellow stones. You may have noticed, and you can use gold, you can use pyrite under certain circumstances. Those colors are higher colors of the third chakra, of the solar plexus chakra, would be gold. And still, my absolute hands down favorite is yellow Damborite. Now this is a polished piece of yellow Damborite, and this is a raw piece of yellow Danburite, and these have got a very, very strong, intense yellow. And that intense yellow, of course, makes it work really, really well. However, it's the properties of Danburite that are most important, because Danburite is the stone of the self. Now, most of you will be more familiar with the pink Danburite, which comes in a crystalline formation like that, whereas yellow Danburite comes in a mass. So this is what Danburite usually looks like. It's the stone of self, and being pink, this is more a heart chakra stone. And being yellow, this is more of a solar plexus stone. So this is pale yellow with bits of deeper yellow on it. It is a very, very, very powerful stone that has done extraordinary work, and also has an active point there that is amazing to work with as well. But as a chakra stone, it is superb. The other yellow stone that I like to use for the solar plexus chakra is golden healer quartz. Now, apparently the gold color comes from iron, and that does make sense to me. And sometimes it's just a stain on part of the crystal. This is a very unusual Lemurian. Look how its termination grew out like this. But this part is the golden healer part. And I do love this stone because it gives me a handle, and I can turn it this way to work with it. And it's also flat on the back, making it a wonderful chakra stone that balances beautifully on the body. Totally wonderful. These are also golden healers. This is Zambian crystal. That's a beautiful golden healer, and also sits well on the body, like so, and like that. And also I put it between the legs, between the knees, and I'm very, very fond of this stone. You can see it's got a lot of interest, has a wonderful yellow glow. It's rough, not smooth. Usually I like a smooth stone, but in this instance I love the roughness of the stone, and I am being taught a lot by this stone, so I would say it qualifies as a teacher crystal as well. Learned a lot by using it. And then I also have this candle quartz golden healer, which is also very powerful. And then if I turn the point towards you, you may notice that this is also a horn of plenty, because the central crystal is surrounded by a crystal cluster all around it. This is also a stone with many, many, many properties, and I tend to use these two together, like so. I place this between the lower legs and this one between the knees, and create an alignment of energy that runs up the spine and up the pranic tube. Nice. I love my stones. I hope it shows as I'm demonstrating this information. And I feel like my stones love me too, especially when we get to the heart chakra stones. And I just feel myself smiling and enjoying, as the stones do love to show off and do enjoy being talked about. And that's one of the things that we notice every time we have a class. So rose quartz, I just had to choose rose quartz as one of the favorites, because that's a starter stone for many of us, and I always thought, oh, it's a beginner's stone. But honestly, rose quartz is just amazing. And I have these rose quartz palm stones that I put behind the calf muscles, and can also be used as chakra stones. Very useful, these palm stones. They glow and they send off really good, even, smooth energy. I like that. And I have my rose quartz heart, and I actually have quite a few of these, and I enjoy using them. Been placing the proxy crystals when doing remote work on my rose quartz hearts. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel style. I like them in these 1 wand shapes. This is a Vogel st And so it comes in different formations. And then there's also just raw rose quartz, beautiful pieces that I pulled out of the box of gem quality rose quartz pieces at the Tucson Gem Show. Just gorgeous glow. Even looking through this, rose-colored glasses. Brilliant. And that's one of the things I love about crystals, is they're full of fun and games. And if I loosen up enough, then I get to see the fun and games part instead of being my usual serious self. Okay, now my all-time favorite mineral is Kunzite. And I do have this extraordinary piece that I actually had a vision of about 2 months before I found it. It came to me in a vision and said, if you release that other piece of Kunzite to the person who's asking for it, I will come into your life. And it did. It was bought for making gems, but it has a flaw in it. And because of its flaw, it is now my gorgeous, gorgeous piece of Kunzite. Now, one of the things I like about Kunzite is that it comes in different colors. So we usually think of Kunzite as pink. I'll hold this one this way because you can see it has a nice termination. So we usually think of Kunzite as this kind of color. It comes in a lot of different colors. It gets called hiddenite and spodumene. And here's a green one that I think is a stunner. And it's just one of my very most favorite heart stones. I like to include it in almost every chakra layout that requires heart stones with a strong impulse. This one has a very strong impulse. I use it to make elixir as well, Kunzite elixir. For the throat chakra, long time favorite, blue lace agate. These are small pieces. They come from South Africa. Apparently the deposit is running out, but I got a little supply. Nice color. And the reason that I like blue lace agate is because it has the lacy design, and that is part of the icon for the throat chakra. I have another piece of blue lace agate, also from South Africa, that's got druzy on it. So there you can see the druzy on the front. And then it's layered like that as well. And this is where the size of the stone is really important. Now this piece cannot go on the throat like that. It doesn't fit. However, you will have seen it in some of the other videos resting here. And so that does work. And it's the one that told me, no, I will work. I want to be in the video. And I kind of went, okay, we'll try. And it worked out well. So if you want to place a piece of blue lace agate on the throat, center of the throat chakra, that would be there. And just so you do know, let me review this. The throat chakra is ears, nose, and throat, just like the ENT surgeon. And this is the very center of the throat chakra. It comes to here, and it comes down and overlaps with the heart chakra. And the chakras are meant to overlap with each other. When we do diagrams of them, we hold them separate. But in practice, they do overlap, which when we think about is obvious. But when we look at the diagram, it's not so obvious and clear. The other color I love for the throat chakra is Aqua Aura. And this is my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Aqua Aura piece. That is also miraculously self-healed and fits very nicely in this position here. Wow, I can feel something when I put it there. Aqua Aura just has a great dynamic, and we use it for tissue regeneration as well. And apparently there's gold in the formulation, and it's the gold that makes the quartz coat blue. This is my Aqua Aura on my wand, and this too has been a teacher crystal for me that has given me a lot of information. Very, very nice. Aqua Aura. Delicious. For the third eye, Azurite. You've seen me use this one. And I love the size of this piece because it fits so beautifully over the third eye. And when you cover the third eye with the third eye stone, it's like pulling the shade on a window. And that is what has the third eye settle and calm down and start to look inward if you want to introspect, or look outward if you want to intuit. So Azurite, this is an Azurite sun, and this is Azurite from Morocco. This is from Australia, this is from Morocco. All Azurite is gorgeous. I'm particularly fond of the Azurite suns from Australia because of their shape and their size. The other really, really empowering third eye stone that I like to use a lot is Iolite. And this is an Iolite sphere. This is an Iolite wand. You can see it's a true indigo color, and that's why I like it so much. It's a true indigo. Not that easy to get navy blue in a crystal. And then, these are obviously not great shapes for the third eye, but you can get Iolite as a tumbled stone, which would be like that. And this Iolite has a little hidden surprise. It has Sunstone in it. Look at that. And that combination is powerful, powerful, powerful on the third eye. And so I did manage to get this extraordinary bigger chakra stone of Sunstone in Iolite, and it fits perfectly on the third eye. And if I could communicate to you how beautiful and comforting this feels, it actually is reaching the back of my third eye, back here, and giving me a coherence and integration that I wasn't experiencing before. I'm loving it. This stone is coming home with me for sure. And that's when you know you're doing well, when you're shopping in your own store for crystals. That's an easy thing to find me doing on a daily basis even. All right, we're at the crown chakra. And of course, amethyst has to be on the list. So this is a beautiful amethyst. And what I like to do with the crown chakra stone is determine, do I need to place it so that it's going upwards, like so, and running the energy in an up direction, or do I want to turn the termination so that the energy is coming in from the etheric dimension and coming into my crown chakra? Of course, if I'm lying down on the table, it's going to be placed like that. But crown chakra knows that it's got to activate the energy from a slightly different spot. It can't get the energy placed right in the middle of the crown chakra. And so we all just work with that accordingly. And so it would be laying down like so. And actually that feels really good. And that's a way to test, always to test. And you have to learn to feel. You've got to use your kinesthetic sense to get the information so that you can start feeling the energy. And one of the ways is through kinesthesia. And like I can feel this is very integrating, and that if I were to take the third eye stone now, I could hook the energy up like so. But let me not get distracted and sidetracked. And so let's continue with our chakra stones. So here we have Chevron Amethyst. These pieces are from Madagascar. And that's a Chevron Amethyst. Very nice. Easily accessible, very nice to use, not expensive. I love that. And finally, one of my favorites, purple fluorite. I'll hold this stone up for you and you'll see this is absolutely gorgeous. And if you could see it from my angle, you'd see the light shining through the back. And the back is also beautiful. And again, a beautiful flat base. And that flat base is what makes a chakra stone really work. Otherwise, it just rolls around. And so there's my beautiful purple fluorite that I've had for a very long time. Bought it from somebody else's collection right at the beginning of when I was purchasing crystals. And I do have more. And I love the zoning in the purple fluorite. And this particular piece I find very interesting. Again, notice how flat the base is. It's not always easy to find. Now that's some matrix. It almost feels like an agate, which is adding to the beauty of the stone and the beauty of its action. And then we've got this clear zoning, which I find very, very helpful because our consciousness is zoned. And so purple fluorite really works well with consciousness because it is also zoned. And that zoning dynamic is a wonderful boon to working with consciousness and bringing information from deep unconscious up to pre-conscious and up into consciousness, where we can actually use it and work with it. So I love my purple fluorite. There's a really dark one, and these really dark ones help to put a dark light into the brain that is extremely soothing and comforting. And that to me is a wonderful way to go. Let me try this on my third eye, and I'll try this one on my crown. And yes, it calms me down and tells me time to stop. Thank you, thank you, thank you for listening to me talking about chakra stones.